This is one of those moments that makes the entire NFL world stop scrolling, rub their eyes, and say, wait, what did I just read? Because for years, Cowboys fans have dreamed about a true elite running back wearing blue and silver. And now the internet is on fire with one name and one name only, Saquon Barkley. Social media is exploding, timelines are melting down, and Cowboys Nation is buzzing louder than it has in a long time. The idea of Saquon Barkley as a Dallas Cowboy feels unreal, almost impossible. And yet, here we are with rumors, whispers, and so-called confirmations lighting up every corner of the football world. Whether you love it, hate it, or don't know what to believe yet, one thing is undeniable. This story has captured everyone's attention, and it refuses to let go. When you hear the words Saquon Barkley and Cowboys in the same sentence, it hits different. This is a former number 2 overall pick, a generational talent, a player who at his peak was considered the most complete running back in football. Power, speed, vision, hands, explosiveness, highlight reel ability. Saquon has always had it all. For years, Dallas fans watched him from a distance, usually as a rival, usually as a problem their defense had to deal with twice a season. Now, the mere thought of him wearing that iconic star flips the entire narrative upside down and sends shockwaves across the league. The reaction from Cowboys fans alone tells you how massive this would be. Some fans are already celebrating like a Super Bowl just got won. Others are cautious, skeptical, asking how, why, and what it would cost. And then there are those who simply can't believe it because for so long, the Cowboys have been linked to running back conversations, from Ezekiel Elliott's rise and fall to the constant search for balance in the offense. Saquon Barkley represents something different. He represents a reset, a statement, and a move that says Dallas is done playing it safe and ready to swing big. If this becomes real or even close to real, the football implications are enormous. Picture Dak Prescott in the backfield with a true home run threat behind him. Imagine defensive coordinators having to choose between stacking the box to stop Saquon or dropping back to contain CeeDee Lamb. That's the kind of dilemma that breaks defenses before the ball is even snapped. Saquon doesn't just add yards, he adds fear. Every carry has the potential to flip field position. Every screen pass can turn into a highlight. Every red zone snap suddenly feels automatic. What makes this storyline even more compelling is Saquon's journey. He's battled injuries, criticism, and massive expectations since the moment he entered the league. He's had seasons where he looked unstoppable and others where the circumstances around him limited his impact. A move to Dallas, even hypothetically, feels like a fresh chapter, a chance to rewrite the story and remind everyone exactly who he is. Put a motivated Saquon Barkley on a roster with playoff expectations and a national spotlight, and you're talking about must-watch football every single week. From the Cowboys' perspective, this kind of move would signal an all-in mentality. It would tell the locker room that the front office believes this team is close, that the window is open, and that now is the time to push all the chips to the center of the table. Players notice that, and fans notice that. The league notices that. The Cowboys are already one of the most talked about franchises in sports, and adding Saquon Barkley to that equation would turn every game into a headline event. Of course, with excitement comes debate. There will always be questions about durability, contract value, and long-term planning. Some fans will argue that running backs are replaceable, that money should go elsewhere, that the modern NFL doesn't need a superstar at that position. Others will counter that special players break rules, and Saquon Barkley has always been viewed as special. This is the kind of argument that fuels call-in shows, comment sections, and endless debates, and that's exactly why this story refuses to die down. Think about the marketing side alone. Saquon Barkley in a Cowboys jersey would dominate jerseys sales commercials, primetime games, and national coverage. The NFL loves stars, and Dallas loves stars even more. This would be one of those moves that transcends football and becomes part of pop culture. Kids would be wearing number 26 at school. Every highlight show would lead with Cowboys footage. Every opposing fan base would circle that matchup on the calendar. And then there's the emotional side of it. Rivalries would intensify overnight. Seeing Saquon line up against his former team in blue and silver would be must-see television. The storylines write themselves. Every carry would be analyzed. Every touchdown would be celebrated or criticized depending on which side you're on. This is the kind of move that doesn't just affect one team, it reshapes narratives across the entire league. For Dak Prescott, this could be one of the biggest changes of his career. Quarterbacks thrive when the run game is respected, and Saquon Barkley demands respect. Play action becomes deadlier. Third downs become more manageable. Pressure eases. The offense becomes more balanced and unpredictable. Suddenly, the Cowboys don't have to be perfect in the passing game every week because they have a player who can take over on the ground when things get tough. Defensively, opponents would have to game plan differently. Safeties creep up. Linebackers hesitate. One wrong step and Saquon is gone. That hesitation opens windows everywhere else. Football is a game of inches and moments, and elite players create advantages that don't always show up on the stat sheet. Saquon Barkley's presence alone changes how 11 defenders react. Even if this story started as a rumor, the fact that it feels even remotely possible tells you something about where the Cowboys are as a franchise. Fans are hungry for a bold move. They're tired of close calls, playoff exits, and what-ifs. Saquon Barkley represents hope, excitement, and the belief that the next season could finally be different. Whether that belief is justified or not almost doesn't matter because belief is what fuels fandom. The longer this conversation continues, the bigger it gets. Every hour without clarity adds more speculation. Every social media post adds fuel to the fire. Every analyst has an opinion. And that's exactly how modern sports news works. Stories don't just break, they evolve, they grow, and they take on lives of their own. This one has all of the ingredients of a viral NFL saga. If this ends up being nothing more than talk, it will still be remembered as one of those moments where fans allowed themselves to dream. If it turns into something real, even partially, it could change the trajectory of a season, and if it somehow becomes fully confirmed, it would go down as one of the most shocking moves in recent Cowboys history. So whether you're celebrating early, pumping the brakes, or just watching the chaos unfold, one thing is certain, the name Saquon Barkley will not leave the Cowboys conversation anytime soon. This story is bigger than one tweet, bigger than one rumor, and bigger than one game. It's about identity, ambition, and the constant search for greatness in a league where only a few teams ever reach the top. And now the question everyone is asking isn't just, is it real? But what would it mean if it is? Because if Saquon Barkley truly becomes